Hey guys, so this is your homework help video for the solving log equations. Before we get into that, I wanted to talk about the last example problem that I did on the notes, just because I ran out of time. It limits me to 15 minutes when I'm making a video. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the answer that we got here. So the answer that we got was we had x equals e squared over 3. And we also had, when we did it using the log properties, we got x equals the square root of e to the fourth over 9. And I thought it was important to make sure that everybody saw that these two answers actually are exactly the same. All right, if we take the square root of e to the fourth, we get e squared. And if we take the square root of 9, we get 3. So these two answers actually are exactly the same. So no matter which way you did it, you would get the same thing. Okay, this is a pretty, like I mentioned in the first video, it's really algebra heavy. It's going to require a lot of, old algebra skills. You're going to have to factor and do some things like that. As well as the new log stuff. So I do anticipate that office hours will be really important for you guys. So don't forget to check, on the hub over here. Check that schedule over here on the right side for office hours, and you can see me. I'm available once a day up until Thursday. Usually the Monday office hours are pretty slow just because everybody's kind of getting started. I know you work on cohort stuff in the mornings on Monday. But I am available on Monday, so if you can get in early, probably going to be a little bit less crowded if you decide to join in on Monday. I'm anticipating that Thursday's office hours will be really crowded, so you might want to avoid that. Okay, I want to do a few of these problems with you just to kind of make sure that we're all on the same page. So I want to do number 4. Okay, so number 4 is log of 4k minus 5 is equal to log of 2k minus 1. Okay, so this is number 4. Again, I'll show you the assignment. Click the link there for the assignment. And so we're looking at number 4, which is this one right here. Okay, so on number 4, both of these are logs that have the same base. We know that there's a base of 10 there, all right? On this problem, though, it's not particularly important that the base is 10 as long as you know that both bases are the same. So when we're solving this problem, we'll actually just cross out the logs, all right? Because both of these are a log with a base of 10. That means that these arguments have to be equal to one another, right? And so what that means is that 4k minus 5 is equal to 2k minus 1. Okay, so now we can just solve this like a normal equation. I want to get all of the k's over here to the left side, so let me subtract 2k from both sides. All right, and then I also want all the numbers to go to the right side, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I like to do that in one step because this is algebra 2, so we're way beyond solving these equations. So you can do that all in one step, right? So we're basically subtracting 2k and adding 5 to both sides. So what I'll be left with on the left side here, that goes away, is I'll be left with 2k. And then on the right side here, the 2k goes away, and I'm left with a positive 4. So 2k equals 4, divided by 2, and we get that k is equal to 2. All right. So that's a really simple problem where all we're doing is just getting rid of the logs and saying that the two arguments are equal to each other. Okay. All right. The next one I want to do, I think I want to do number 6. It brings up a couple of really interesting points about logs. So I would like to do number 6. All right. So number 6 says we've got 2 log with a base of 7 minus 2r. So our argument there is negative 2r. And then that's equal to 0. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do here is I want to deal with this 2, the 2 that's sort of out front. All right. I want to deal with that because, and there's a couple of different ways to do it. I could put it up here as an exponent, but I think that makes the problem just a little bit harder, right? Because now we're going to be dealing with an r squared, and that's not going to be fun. So I think the easier way is just to divide both sides by 2, right? Remember that this is a coefficient, so it's like a multiplier there, right? So by dividing both sides by 2, that goes away. And what's nice is we're dividing 0 by 2, which is just going to be 0. So we've got log with a base of 7 of negative 2r is equal to 0. All right, so that 2 basically just went away. All right, now we're going to solve this one by walking it around. All right, so this is just by taking advantage of our log properties. So this is going to be 7 to the exponent of 0 is equal to negative 2r. All right, so this the reason why I wanted to do this problem, it brings up an exponent of 0. Anything to the 0 power is just 1, so this is 1 is equal to negative 2r. Then if we want to isolate r, get r by itself, we're going to divide by negative 2. And so we get that negative 1/2 is equal to r. So that's our answer there, is that negative 1/2 is equal to r. Okay. Remember that you can check your answers here. I do have a link to the answers there on the hub as well that you can check out. Okay, so let's move on and do another one. So next I want to skip down and I want to work on number 19. Number 19 is a good one. It's going to make us use one of our log properties. It's also going to require us to do some factoring, and we're going to end up with 2 answers because we'll have an x squared in that problem. All right, so number 19. All right, so number 19 is log with a base of 8 of 2 plus log with a base of 8 of 4x squared. Okay, and that's equal to 1. Okay, so to deal with these 2 logs sort of being on the same side, what I'm going to do is take advantage of the product rule for logs, which says that if I have 2 logs that are added to each other, that I can smush them into 1 log and make their arguments be multiplied. Okay, so I have put the 2 and the 4x squared into 1 argument. All right, now I can make this log of 8 of 8x squared equals 1. All right, and now we'll go ahead and walk this thing around so that we can get rid of the log. So to walk it around, I'm going to say 8, which is my base. I'm going to take the base of the log and turn it into the base of my exponent. I'm going to raise that to the first power, and then that's going to be equal to my argument, which is 8x squared. All right, 8 to the first power is just 8, so now I just need to sort of break down this side here, so I'm going to divide by 8 on both sides. All right, so this is going to be that x squared is equal to 1. All right, x squared being equal to 1, we can just take the square root here. All right, and so my answer is going to be 1 because the square root, so the square root of x squared, remember x squared is x times x. So to simplify that radical, it's just going to be an x. All right, and then the square root of x is, or I'm sorry, the square root of 1 is just 1. But remember that there is also another answer that can come out here because there's another set of numbers I can multiply to get 1, and that would be negative 1 times negative 1. So another square root of 1 is negative 1. So we sort of have 2 answers here, which makes sense because usually when we have a square in the problem, usually that's going to result in 2 answers. So we have 2 answers there, negative 1 and 1. All right. Okay, the last one that I want to do is one that involves an ln. And so I'm going to choose to do number 25. Actually, let me do number 26. All right, so let me grab another piece of paper. All right, so number 26. All right, so number 26, which is the last one on the page, we know that's usually the most difficult one. We've got ln of 4x plus 1 minus ln of 3. And we know that that's equal to 5. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is deal with the subtraction sign. All right, I've got 2 logs that have the same base. Remember that an ln is a log with a base of e. And e is Euler's number. I might make another video for next week to kind of explain what Euler's number is, or maybe I'll give you something to read about it. But Euler's number is that special number that we use in statistics. It has to do with growth. It's a 100% return for 1 year, constantly compounding. Is going to be sort of a multiplier, or it's going to multiply our investment or our principal amount by 2.718. And so that number is Euler's number, and it's something that we use a lot with logs. And so they just came up with a shorter version way to denote that in math, and it's ln, which means a natural log, and it's a log with a base of e. All right, so let's deal with this subtraction. We're going to use the quotient rule here. Okay, so the result of the quotient rule here is going to be smushing this together into one log and dividing those arguments. Okay, so that's what we've got here. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to walk this around to get rid of the log. All right, we're going to walk it around. So to walk it around, I think it's important that we know that this has a base of e. And so we're going to walk this around. We're going to have e to the fifth equals this fraction expression there. So we're going to have e to the fifth equals 4x plus 1 over 3. Okay, so our next step is going to be that we want to get the x by itself. All right, so to get the x by itself, the first thing that we need to do is sort of get rid of this 3. So the way we're going to do that is to multiply both sides by 3. All right, now e is a number, right? We could ask the calculator, or I could ask my my Alexa or Siri or somebody to do e to the fifth, and you can give me a number, right? But for now, we're just going to leave it as e to the fifth. Kind of like in geometry, how usually when you were looking at something where you're multiplying by pi, you just left it as pi because it's more accurate, because we have that kind of irrational number happening, right? All right, so anyway, when I multiply by 3, on this side, I'm just going to have 3e to the fifth, all right? And this side, the 3's cancel, and so I'm left with 4x plus 1, all right? Okay, next I need to subtract 1 from both sides, so I will have 3e to the fifth minus 1, and that's going to be equal to 4x. All right, then to get the x by itself, divide by 4, and so this is my answer right here. So x is equal to 3e to the fifth minus 1 over 4. Now, I'm totally fine with this answer. If you wanted to turn it into a lengthy decimal, you could do that. But I am totally fine with you leaving e in your answer, all right? Plus, I think one, it's easier to leave e in the answer. It's less math. You just leave the e there instead of having to work it out. 2, I think it's more accurate, so I really do prefer this answer right here. Okay. All right, so if you guys have any more questions, I know I kind of zoomed through just doing a few of the examples there. If you guys have any more questions, I highly encourage you to come see me during office hours. Those office hours for you guys, I'll pull it up here on the hub page. Monday in the afternoon from 2 to 3, Tuesday at the same time, and then Wednesday from 10 to 11, and then Thursday from 10 to 11. This week, your due date for your assignments is Friday. All right, it's a normal week, Friday, and I'm making the assignments due at noon. This is the 3rd week we've done that, and I've been pretty consistent with that. I'm going to try to be consistent with that. Friday at noon, the last day of the week at noon, is when your stuff is due. All right. Last week with the Desmos assignment and the Quick Write, I noticed when I was grading at like Friday at like 2 p.m., or I guess it was Thursday because last week I had a Friday off. But in the afternoon, like right after, 2 hours after it was all due, I saw a ton of people still working in Desmos as I was grading. And that was kind of a little bit disappointing because I couldn't give you full credit that first time I was going through and grading. I'm really counting on you guys to help me out with that, right? It makes sense to have things due at noon. That way I get a few hours to grade before I start my weekend. And then you guys, when you log in on Monday, you'll be able to see your grades. You'll know where to start, whether you have something missing, or whether you can just get started on that week's worth of stuff. So I know that that might be messing with y'all's workflow a little bit. Continue to adjust, continuing to improve. Try to load the front of your week so that Friday is a light day, maybe where you're just doing your PBL skills assignment or something. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Good to see y'all. Please come see me during office hours if you're having trouble with solving log equations, because I know it's difficult. All right, peace.